Coming to you live from Detroit, Michigan, USA. Welcome to another edition of In My House, Techno Music Show, hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played.
Don't you wanna go to my house of love? Don't you wanna spend some time? My house of love. Don't you wanna come? Ooh, baby. Don't you wanna stay a while? Everybody needs to get away from the pressures of everyday. So take your time and ease your mind in my house of love.
All right. We coming live from Detroit, USA. Yes, you are in my house. I am your host, T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played. And tonight, my in-studio guest is the one and only, we call him Larry, the Vibemaker, Mr. Miller. He's going to share with us why he is known as the Vibemaker. So get ready to experience this week's episode of In My House. I am your host, T. Carlita. Let you know that this is Mr. Dwayne Jensen, The Right Spot, also a Detroit native. And right behind him, we're going to get a little bit of Rhythm of Love by Los Hermanos featuring Ron Mitchell. So enjoy the music. You are in my house, hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played.
Mark your calendar for the charity cruise event of the summer. Multiple Sights and Sounds presents Cruising for a Cause. Saturday, October 18th, 3 p.m. till 10 p.m. at Goodyear Ballpark. All bikes, trikes, hot rods, mods, rides, and tuners are welcome. Enjoy family fun, food, and entertainment. Don't snooze on this cruise. We're cruising for a cause. Proceeds to benefit Children's Hospital of Phoenix. That's Saturday, October 18th at Goodyear Ballpark. For info, call 602-377-3063 or visit us on the web at forevercruising.com.
What are you thinking about right now? You're probably thinking about going on vacation. Well, let Humphreys Luxury Travel make your travel plans. This portion of In My House is being brought to you by Humphreys Luxury Travel, serving all of your travel needs. From the simplest of getaways to the most luxurious vacations. Call Celia Humphreys at 602-377-3076. That's Celia Humphreys at 602-377-3076. Or email us at celia.freeze@outlook.com.
This is just a mini mix clip from a mix provided by our in-studio guest. We're going to see, you're going to know why he's called the Vibemaker. Enjoy the clip from Mix by Larry the Vibemaker.
friend. Every time you keep me on my feet, happily excited by your cologne and your hands, your smile, your intelligence. You woo me, you caught me, you tease me, you please me, you school me, give me some things to think about, ignite me, you invite me, you correct me, you love me, you like me, you incite me to chorus. La 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 love me especially different every time you keep me on my feet, happily excited by your cologne, your hands, your smile, your intelligence. You woo me, you caught me, you tease me, you please me, you school me, give me some things to think about, ignite me, you invite me, you correct me, you love me, you like me, you incite me to chorus. You're different and special. You're different and special in every way imaginable. You love me from my hair follicles to my toenails. You got me feeling like the breeze, easy and free and lovely, and you are. When you touch me, I just can't control it. When you touch me, I just can't control it. The emotion inside of me, I can feel it. You love me especially different every time you keep me on my feet, happily excited by your cologne and your hands, your smile, your intelligence. You woo me, you caught me, you tease me, you please me, you school me, give me some things to think about.
So now we know why he is called the Vibemaker. Cause I was vibing, you know that's like one of my favorite songs right there, Jill Scott. I never heard it that way. So what's up, Mister? Do we call you Larry the Vibemaker?
Just Larry is good. Vibe maker. I'll answer to both. So yeah.
So what's happening, man? First of all, thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate you
I
being
appreciate
here.
you having me. I do. I appreciate
I
it.
look
So thanks a
really
lot.
do look forward to you being here totally. So let's wrap a little bit. So who is the Vibemaker?
Wow. It's just me, Larry Miller. The Vibe Maker. That name came about because the vibe, I kind of like try to make a groove and a vibe when I DJ, but I didn't really want to call myself a DJ because growing up, I heard some real DJs like Frankie Knuckles and Ron Hardy, and just people around me growing up. I heard a lot of DJs, and to be called a DJ then, you really have to be a DJ. And I was basically a house music dancer,
Okay.
and I got hip to house music while I was in Chicago,
Hmm.
and fell in love with it. But when I left Chicago, I didn't hear it as much back in Ohio, 'cause that's where I'm originally from
Okay.
Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
And the house scene in Dayton, Ohio was me, basically.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I was one of those cats. I went to Central State University, which is a historically black college.
Mhm.
So there was cats from Chicago, Detroit, D.C., and I was sucking up all their music. And I got a hold of house, techno, and progressive music from Detroit.
Right.
So I was one of those cats driving up to Detroit on the weekends to hear Jeff Mills, Wizard,
Hmm.
do his mix on Friday, listening to the Mojo. But then at the time I was in the military, so got shipped off. No more music, no more, So if I wanted to hear house music, I pretty much had to play it myself.
Play it yourself.
Yeah.
Wow. So let's talk about house music and the scene of house music. Okay. Now, you not being from Detroit, not being from Chicago, but being from Ohio, you had to go to get to it.
Right.
So why do you think why was that necessary for you to go to it? What was it about it?
Well, with me,
Yes.
yeah, I just fell in love. Period. The house music was my music,
Hmm.
and Chicago, Detroit, the only place that really played it, I could hear it, and there were other people besides me that listened to it, whole communities, especially in Chicago.
Right.
So, I mean, had to go where the house was.
Hmm. Now let's talk about back then and now.
Mm-hmm.
Now you DJ, you vibe make. You
Well,
vibe
DJ
make.
is fine.
You
I got
vibe. You
you.
vibe make. You vibe. Let's get it right. You vibe make. Now, so what would you say the idea of house and dance and the scene of dance and house fare differently, similar, same, transition? What's your spin on that? Because I asked this question to a few people. So what's your spin on that?
I
Your
see
thoughts?
it was a huge transition. In the beginning, it was, kind of communal, and it was your dude, it was your boy down the street that was making house, and you was like, he's doing it, I can do that.
Right.
And so it was a little competitiveness, and there was a little one-upmanship about it, and it was kind of easy.
Okay.
So if you hear some of those early house tracks, today they don't hold up. I mean, there's some good cuts and there's a lot of bad ones that production-wise you're like, oh man,
You could tell they was playing it from the kitchen sink.
But it was from the heart.
Right.
It was a bunch of young cats in their teens and 20s doing stuff that no one had really heard before, their own style, so it was new for everybody.
Okay. Now, how would you driving to these different places to party? What was it about? Why did you just feel like I had to go to Detroit? I want to go to Chicago. You could have just stayed at home.
I did. I mean, but house is not to be listened to by yourself. I could play house and listen to it in my basement and even DJ it and party by myself, but that's not the purpose. To me, it was more communal, more church-like.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gospel aspects in house, and it had to be a crowd.
Right.
It had to be a people.
And that's something I was in a conversation with. There's a person over in London, and we were talking about how house, there is a song. It's a spiritual thing. It's a soul thing, right? So what do you think, is the spirit still being produced in house tracks now versus what it back then? Because back then you knew bam, bam, bam.
Oh yeah, I think so. But now it's so fractured. There's so many aspects, so many styles. I mean, back then it was house music. It might have been acid house, but it wasn't as fractured as it is, and it all still had that same vibe,
Mm-hmm.
that same nature to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's so many names to different types of house that sometimes it's not house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything that's that 4x4, that, you know, 4 on the floor beat or whatever is not necessarily house music.
Right.
And I think we've gotten a lot of stuff lumped up together under the house label, under
Mm-hmm.
that umbrella, that probably really shouldn't be there.
Yeah, that's true too. So tell me about the clubs that you frequent when you came. What was the difference between this one you went to? Okay, we'll leave Music Institute for last.
Okay.
But through your travels, like when you first came to Detroit, your first time coming to Detroit, what were some of the clubs that you went to, and what was it like when you got here?
Um, I want to say the first club I came to was the Institute in Detroit.
okay.
But before that, in Chicago, I was going to first club when I went to go hear Ron Hardy, and that was at the Music Box.
Okay.
And then 2 weeks later, I went to go hear Frankie Knuckles at the Power Plant.
Okay.
And so I was hit with like the two best, the two hardest right out the gate.
Right.
And so I was kind of messed up from there on out.
Mm-hmm.
But the common denominator then was that the best house was always in the gay clubs.
Okay.
And I'm not gay, but I wasn't homophobic.
Right.
So I had no problems with going up in the club for the music and partying with everybody that was in there, because it wasn't just all guys. There was a lot of women, a lot of people
Everybody
who loved the house
Yep.
then were in the club. And the club just happened to be a gay club, and the DJs
Right.
were as well. So
Right. So did you get a chance? I don't know. Did you ever make it up here to go to Heavens and when Ken Collier
no.
was? Okay.
And actually, I moved to Detroit a few years ago.
Okay.
So I had never heard Ken Collier in person.
Right.
But I saw how he must have been, at that time, kind of like a Frankie Knuckles figure
Oh,
for
yeah.
Chicago, because everybody that I've ever spoken to, DJs and even people who listen to dance music, talked about Ken Collier. So I could see he had a huge shadow over the
Mm-hmm.
city.
So when you decided that, like, what made you decide that you wanted to DJ? How'd you get started doing DJing yourself?
It was just out of necessity, because I loved house music and I wanted to hear it. Because I was
Okay.
really like I was just a dancer.
Okay.
I was that little dude with the whistle and the baby powder in the club, you know, just acting a fool.
You said baby.
But then when I left, you know, I heard a record and I couldn't hear it. No one would play it, especially in the DJs in Ohio or parts of Virginia where I was stationed at in the Navy. So I ended up buying a record, playing on my record. Then I was like, no, this song would sound good with this song.
Okay.
So then I had to buy another turntable, and slowly but surely, I was just DJing for myself, and I got kind of good. And I knew the music that I wanted to hear, the songs. I wasn't necessarily a deaf DJ in the vein of a lot of people today, like a Louis Vega or even the ones I heard back then. And that's probably one of the reasons why I didn't want to put the DJ name on myself, because
Okay.
I've heard a lot of DJs who were like super technical, smooth. You couldn't tell one song from another.
Right.
Me, because I was a dancer, I just wanted to hurry and get to the other song.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We got this out the system. Let's go to it. And so it wasn't
Gotcha.
always the tightest mix, but it was the livest part.
You knew what to play.
I knew, yeah.
Because
Pretty
you
much.
used to be out there on the dance floor.
Exactly.
That helps. That does help.
It helps, but it's also, and especially in a city like Detroit, where people take DJing very serious.
yeah.
I don't mean very serious. So, and a lot of times you'll find yourself playing to a party full of DJs.
Oh, yeah. True.
That's probably one of the worst things ever. A lot of DJs don't dance. They don't like to dance. Super bad critics. I've been to parties where everybody's favorite DJ. I can name somebody.
True.
Louis Vega.
Okay.
Killing it like he does. Killing it. And someone be like, oh, he shouldn't have played that. He should have did this and this and this. And that's just, I found out the nature of what a lot of DJs do. And so it's just,
So what are you doing now? Where can we see you mix?
I've I started this T-shirt line. So
Yeah.
a friend of mine, Gabriel, told me, Larry, once you start doing this T-shirt, don't do it because the music is going to fall behind. Because he did the same thing. He was doing a lot of music. Then he had a T-shirt line that really kind of blew up, and it took a lot of his focus away. I do most of my mixing now. I do a lot online, a lot of mixes. A lot of music that I do play, I kind of tweak it myself. Not necessarily a remix, but like a re-edit sometimes. So when the times I do get to play, it's something that I did on a song that sometimes it's very noticeable, sometimes it's not. But it's something that I still like to do.
So tell me about the T-shirt line?
Wow. A few years ago, I was working with Cornelius Harris and Mike Banks over at Alter Ego Management, and I helped them develop a couple of T-shirts that they had made with Syntex, the graffiti artist. And so I was like, okay, that was pretty cool. That was fun. I wonder if I could do one myself. And so I came up with this Detroit Techno Elements design.
Yes. Yeah.
And started with UR, of course. And I was like, okay, UR. And then I just blossomed it out with a bunch of Detroit techno elements as far as music, songs, clubs, radio stations. And I got a few of them printed up, and they sold out. I was like, wow, that was amazing.
Yeah.
So then I tightened it up a little bit, sold some more, made some more, and it just
Wow. Is that a
blossomed.
shirt? One of your shirts there?
Yeah, this is one of the shirts from Detroit Makes, which is the company overall.
Okay.
And I've branched out from techno, and I'm doing a lot of other music-based, Detroit-based T-shirts.
Okay. So
other
how
items.
can do you have a website? How can people
DetroitMakes.com. You go there and you can see the whole line that I have out now, and there's probably a couple sneak previews of what we're working on.
That sounds good. Now let's talk about the clubs. Let's talk a little bit about the club spots today. Like, what are some of your favorite places to go to now? I know you had the Music Institute and all those places back in the day, but where is house its best in your eyes? Like, where do you just have to be at if you go?
Because now there is no dedicated house music clubs per se that plays kind of house that I will call house. Places like the TV bar, they always have a big house night or some big house acts there. Mix downtown, they do a lot of house. They have certain nights, but also have some house acts. The Grasshopper in Ferndale, they do all levels of house, all kinds of house. So that's also a good place. So there's still some places you can get your house on.
So how do, like the clubs? The reason why I'm doing this is because you're a dancer, I'm a dancer, but we both have an appreciation for music, from the dance floor.
Right.
Now you from the DJ side, mine from the show side. But I don't know. How do you feel that? What is it gonna take to get things back, or should it go? We gotta have a good middle ground here, because we were this way and now we're all the way over here.
We have to get some more young people interested in house.
Yeah.
We have to accept the roots of house, which is really, a lot of disco culture, a lot of gay culture that a lot of straight people just don't want to be a part of or around sometimes unless they're, know somebody or something like that.
Right.
That's part of the culture that
Right.
we have to embrace.
Right.
And face the facts that, 40 and 50 and 60-year-old people can't necessarily party 4 or 5 times a week.
True.
And I know my son, who's 27, don't necessarily want to be up in the club listening to house with his dad.
This is true.
So we also have to know, when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Yep. That's so true. Well, Mr. Larry Vibemaker, I'm happy that you're here. I'm glad you shared your story. And then we're going to, on my Facebook page, I'm gonna make sure that I put on there, information about your
definitely.
T-shirt line. So we're gonna push that, and I know they're gonna see you around mixing at different places, and of course they
Sure
might
will.
see you dancing for sure.
But that's
And
gonna happen.
That's gonna happen for sure. Now we're gonna get into. You sent me 2 mixes, so I have another mix clip of this one. I think is more of a progressive style because the first one was groovy. So this next one
have to hear it.
is more of a, I believe it's more of a progressive kind of thing. So let me get this queued up. We're going to do a little commercial first, and then we're going to get into your other part of your mix. All right?
All right. I can't wait to hear it.
I can't either. Hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played.
It's so low for me. It's so low for me.
Wars is searching for the best. Coming Sunday, April 26, 2015. It's the Hair Wars Color Show. Short, long, and ridiculous. At the beautiful Adobe Hotel, formerly the Hyatt Regency in Dearborn. Also featuring techno and house music mixing live on stage.
For real?
Hump the Grinders Hair Wars. Sunday, April 26, 2015. Sponsored by Ampro. Exposing hair entertainment around the world.
What we're gonna do right here is go back. Way back into time. Come on, DJ, put the record on the replay.
Smiling faces, going places, it's so wonder, it's so clear. Up fountain, climbing mountains as we hold each other near. Sipping wine, we try to find that special magic from above. As we share out there, talking in the glow of love.
I'ma bust up in the club with no guest list. club get buzzed. Everybody move to the back of the club. Do you want to bump and slump with us? We the type of people make the club get buzzed. Everybody move to the back of the club. Do you want to bump and slump with us? We the type of people make the club get buzzed. Everybody move to the back of the club. Do you want to bump and slump with us? We the type of people make the club get buzzed. Everybody move to the back of the club. Do you want to bump and slump with us? We the type of people make the club get buzzed. People make the club get cool.
Remembering the late great Mr. Joe Sample, born February the 1st, 1939, and passed away on September the 12th, 2014. This legendary piano player, keyboard player, composer was a legend that we all will miss and we have appreciated at some point in time in our lives. He was one of the founding members of the Jazz Crusaders and the band which became simply known as the Crusaders in 1971. He remained part of the group until its final album in 1991, not including the 2003 reunion album, Rural Renewal. I remember going to see him in concert once. He was him, Al Jarreau, and I believe Incognito. I went with my brother-in-law at the time, Jimmy Jamerson Jr., and we had a ball. That man could take those keys, and I'm telling you the truth, it was magic. I'll never forget it. Mr. Joe Sample, you are resting in paradise, and you will be missed by many, many, many of us in the music business and beyond. God bless you. Thank you for giving us real music, real keys, real chords, real compositions. We miss you, we love you, and rest, my brother. Woo-wee. Rest in peace, rest in paradise, Mr. Joe Sample. This is Got to Give It Up by Derek Jamerson Sr. Rest in peace, you too, my man. All right, thank you. It has been a show. I appreciate Mr. Larry the Vibemaker Miller hanging out. Shout out to my Facebook fans, Twitter followers. And I want to also say thank you, Mr. Vibemaker, for my Elements t-shirt. Yay, I got one. I'm going to wear this next week. Yep, I can name them all. It's just 3 on here that I don't know, so I got to Google them up and see who they are. Anyway, shout out to the Facebook fans, Twitter followers. Thanks, Larry Vibemaker. Hump the grinder, working that camera. Now, if you would like to advertise your business on our show, send us an email and receive an advertising package. You can email us at inmyhouse65@gmail.com. And guess what? It's the end of the month already. Can you believe that? I can't even believe it. So mark your electronic calendars and your devices. Next week, DJ Reggie Reg TM will be in the house on the 1s and 2s. So until next Wednesday, this is T. Carlita keeping it live. Keeping the wheels spinning. And we're going to give it up. Good night.